Does that work? Looks like it works. Okay. Sorry, guys. Woke up about 6 minutes ago now. So it's kind of getting started here, mentally and streaming wise. All right, so good morning, everyone. Actually, what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted by someone telling me I wasn't saying anything is that the biggest stock we have today, volatility wise, well, Oxy now up 6%, but that's it. No double digits today. That's the first time that we haven't had double digits since we started this whole calamity. All of it. So pretty good. I would say that's a little bit of improvement. So Oxy is a oil company. Let's look at some garbage oil stocks. Oh, Eli, I was looking at your article you sent me yesterday. Oil up 4% here today. I think it was Anil that had that oil short position. Maybe a good day to cover it. I don't know. It's just one day, one bounce doesn't bottom out of market. But when I think of oil down at $20, I think about a market that can't go a hell of a lot lower. I know Jim Cramer said 15, but big whoop. What's that going to do for you? And what was that 3 times oil short or the oil short symbol or something like that? I don't know what that is. Is market opposite oil? No, I don't think the market's opposite oil. Oil dropped because of the market, actually, if you remember, due to the whole Saudi Arabia effect. Restoration Hardware down 10%. Domino's Pizza. INMD. Lucky Donuts. That's not what they're called, but that's what I'm calling them. LK down here. Back to their IPO breakout point. I'm not advocating buying them, but that's a pretty interesting retest. Looks like an undercut right there. We just need the rally part. EOG. Hertz Rent-A-Car. What are you up to? Not anything good. All right, so now we're waiting for follow-through days, ladies and gentlemen. That's our job. Job is waiting for follow-through. They mentioned we've come up like 20% off the market bottom, which sounds drastic to me. Sounds like a very, very big move. Someone said that bull markets happen when you're 20% off the bottom, and I had never heard that before in my life. Had anyone else heard that? I had never, ever, ever heard that, but that's apparently a thing. I mean, I can't say it's the worst thing I've ever heard, 20% off the bottom, but I don't know. I still don't necessarily buy it. Seems a little bit too arbitrary to me. Markets bounce when 10% is less than 25% and window in closed. Something's lost in translation there, Eli. I'm not sure what it is, buddy. Not sure. CCL on the chin. Yeah, market's flat today. That's interesting. Hey, I love this picture. It's a picture of my son. His karate school is having a photo contest. And minus the dark, ominous clouds, that would have been a good one. I like that one. Let's check out our normal stocks list, which we were looking at earlier. United Airlines up 4%. Royal Caribbean up 4%. Oh, okay. Now I exactly understand what you're saying. Market bounces when 10% is less than 25% and your window's closed. On a Tuesday when you're wearing a green t-shirt. Exactly. EXIV down 1%. That's a pretty good sign. You got our volatility index is not doing too much. Plays up 6.5%, oddly enough. So that's interesting. Justin, no, I think your watch list just sucks. No, I'm just kidding. That's what popped into my head, so I rolled with it. No one's watch list can suck. It's just a watch list. No, actually, I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing now. Remember I mentioned a while back that the market bottoms when kind of the light, when it sees the light at the end of the tunnel and, kind of waits for the next shoe to drop. That's where we're at right now, which is a good sign. A couple days ago we had the whole. So let's see states with mandatory. States with mandatory closings. Arizona's quote unquote locked down until April 30th. Our schools just got canceled. So there's no schools till the end of the year. 29 states have announced school closings in the wake of the coronavirus. So Massachusetts suspends school for 3 weeks. I mean, it again, I think everything has priced in about one leg. And apparently this is the leg. About April 30th. Things going into May and June, I think, would have additional reactions. But so far, the market is kind of shrugging off these latest news announcements. Tesla's up a little bit. So yeah, I'm not mad at the markets, to be honest with you. I wish I would have added a little bit more lower, but right now I'm okay, just waiting for a follow through day. Nothing amazing. Let's go take a look at Investors Business Daily. I'm in the wrong profile for that. Here we go. See what they had to say yesterday. Gotta blow my nose in a second. Stocks rally, but a key signal was missed. Oh yeah, so I was looking at that one. Yeah, so we did not quite hit a follow-through day. We were light on volume. Come on, chart. Hold on a second. I'm going to blow my nose. All right, so there you are. Light on volume yesterday, even though we were up 3.62%. So no follow-through day. Oh, I missed it. No follow-through day yesterday. You can see it's very tiny, but our volume is just below. Yeah, definitely a lower volume day. So volume is below. Remember I mentioned going sideways would be good. So far we're doing that, which is nice. Here's the bottom of the last market for a little bit of comparison. We had kind of, that was like the 30th. Yeah, this was 29 or 31. I'm not sure what our day count. That must be Christmas Day with no volume. Must be. So 31, then 4 days. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because that should be the first. 31, 30, 29, 28, 27. That's weird. Super weird. Okay, let's go check it on actual normal chart here. Just trying to see how we bottomed last time. Always like to make comparisons. Always fun. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so the Nasdaq a little bit more clear here. This one did have capitulation type volume at this exhaustion move here, and then we started rising on lower volume, and then we had our follow through day, which I don't remember if it was here, so here, or here, but either way, kind of around the same area. We were already up significantly, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that was a lower volume day. So yeah, it was one of those days. It's just a little slightly different on the futures than it is on the actual index. SOXL. I've never actually traded this instrument. 3-time semiconductor. Doesn't look bad. Get about 200% to all-time highs. I'm not mad at that. I mean, chips can go sideways for a couple of years here, but you're back down in some very, very low ranges. I'm assuming Intel probably, ANTC actually, that probably makes up a good amount of it. 55 to 70 is not that great. So you should look up what else is inside that. What this tracks. Maybe the SOX. The SOX a general ETF. Yeah, semiconductor index. I thought so. Okay. So I think it follows the SOX here. 27. AMD, MU, Qualcomm. You can look at all those names. Ooh, Qualcomm's destroyed. Texas Instruments. None of those look horrible. I'm not sure why that 3x ETF just has so much. I think it's just due to the compounding effects of those 3x ETFs. You end up with these insane moves. The problem is bouncing back. It'll probably get to here by the time everything gets back up to highs, because it's down a lot. 70%. Even right now, still down about 60, 67, 68%. So not bad though. I mean, it could do. That's a very, very extreme drop. That could do very well. SOXL. Let's take a look at that. That's another good percentage gainer right there. China A-share. What is that? Three times ETF SOXL. There you go. Direxion. These expense ratios aren't bad. SOXL. Really, why are you only giving me like a third of the page to look at stuff? What horrible. I thought my website was bad. Look at this website. This is stupid. Like here, you want to see something? Here, we're going to give you this much to look at all this content with. Seriously, I'm just going to start deleting elements of the page. All right, let's get rid of the header. All right, bye. Let's get rid of the menu. Bye. Let's get rid of this menu. All right, where's the actual menu? Here we go. Bye. And that's only half the page. Okay, it's at least a little bit better. Oh, here you go. That's my favorite thing about like learning web development is inspect element and just deleting garbage. Okay, NVIDIA text. Okay, yeah, all those things you mentioned, Rob. Wow. Oh, to print a page? That's a good way to do it. I do it when I can't remember my password, but it autofills. I turn my password into text in the text type, and then I copy and paste it. So yeah, this is pretty much this is Nvidia, Texas. This is not bad. In terms of weighting, you've got 8, 16, 24, 30, about 40% in these, and then you got another 50% with NXP, Micron, Advanced Micro Devices. The Qualcomm, that's pretty garbage to be honest with you. If that because that Qualcomm chart, 2 M's, just 1 M. That Qualcomm chart, oh maybe it wasn't Qualcomm that was that bad. Nvidia, Texas Instruments. Was reading comments on another video yesterday, and someone trades that with TQQ and T. What do you mean? They just trade the 3 times ETFs, you mean? Basically. Anyway, Nvidia with most of their weighting, listed the 3. Gotcha. Texas Instruments is still TI. Come on. Oh, TXN. Something's holding that thing down. I don't know what it is, but that's crazy. Intel. Yeah, this one's not a bad one. If that's what they're invested in. I don't know how they get the 3 times effect, but yeah, that's not a bad one. I'm not too mad at that. What's funny is FinViz and Facebook have almost the same logo, so I keep clicking on Facebook when I mean to go to FinViz. Which means I go to Facebook way too often. Alright, let's see what's up today. We got this SGBX conglomerates. The hell's that? It's a tiny conglomerate. Only a 2 million market cap conglomerate? That seems strange. World Dutch Shell up 5% today. Bouncing off these extreme lows. If you guys chase dividends, this probably is not a bad time to buy some oil. Oil's so beaten down. Who mentioned the 3 times oil ETF here yesterday? Someone did. I was actually thinking about buying it yesterday. I didn't, but I was thinking about it. And I'm like, man, oil rallies 50%. For oil rallies 50%, which would be to $30. Oh, that's 150% gain. That's pretty dope. Spot. Which one's that one? Is that Spotify? Is not Spotify. I don't think it's Spotify. It is Spotify. Okay. It does look weird. Very range bound. It didn't drop that low at all. Actually held really, really nicely. Yeah, that's a strange one. That makes me want to stay away from it. In fact, why didn't you drop 60% with the rest of the market and then rally back 80% with all the good ones? It's a little concerning. Space, the final frontier. Back at $15. So if you missed it back at 20, you got it now at 15. Maybe for a rerun. These are the reruns of the Starship Virgin Galactic. So maybe a possibility there. Look, you got a little run right there at 20, a little pause here at 15. Maybe. Cloudflare? Yeah, they're, oh wow, yeah, absolutely. So I think this is a breakout a little late in the making, actually. We haven't really been looking at breakouts lately, but, Yeah, Cloudflare is actually really good. Um, Look at there. Yeah, there's a nice bull flag right there. Yesterday with a really good day, and then today is pretty good. Dude, let's do that, Eli. Let's start a company. We'll petition rich people and tell them, hey, we're gonna do those big rich people cities in the sky, so you can just leave everything down to the people on Earth down here. Let's do it. That'd be fun. And then we'd probably even get to live there with the rich people. They'd be like, oh, you're rich? Like, yes, we're rich. Oh, that's great. It's great that you're rich. Like some stupid poor person living down there on Earth. I'm like, nope. Absolutely not. Dude, you're in San Francisco. Just knock on the next door neighbor. I'm sure that guy's a venture capitalist, right? He's got $60 to build something with. LVGO. Yeah, net actually really good. I'm not sure. I was talking virtually on some chat room to someone, and they mentioned, maybe it was you, Eli. I don't remember, but someone said they were trying to build a internet technology portfolio, and net was one of them. And it was before I even realized it was public. It was over here, I think maybe late last year. They were talking about it, and it was like Cloudflare and all the infrastructure companies. Amazon was part of it. I don't remember all of it, but that was the first time I was actually aware that Cloudflare was a public company, which is weird. And another reason I think this could do very well is strictly because no one knows about it. No one talks about it. It's one of those weird internet companies that, unless you're kind of savvy, even a little bit, like me, no one knows what it does. Like, seriously, there's a tremendous amount of companies that run on Cloudflare, and no one knows who Cloudflare is, which is why I think this could do tremendously well. Because the people in the know, the analysts and stuff, like, oh, what's Cloudflare? And they start looking into it and tell their bosses, and they start buying Cloudflare. But everyone else doesn't know about it. So by the time they even learn about Cloudflare, this thing's at like $250. And they're like, oh, this is the backbone of the internet. Oh, that's cool. And then it never goes up again because everyone knows about it. But anyway, yeah, Cloudflare's a good company. That's I think one of the better longer term holds. I'm not sure about its market cap. It's got to be in the billions. It's a huge company. Only $7 billion. That has a lot of potential. Sales are only 287 million, so if they're starting to fully monetize, not going public, they're probably going to have to. Announces pricing of initial Look at how little news is on Cloudflare. It goes all the way back to their IPO in September, and it's still here. That's amazing. Really is amazing. %10 owner, sold 45 million. Sold out completely. Peace out. March 5th. They should have waited. They should have waited. 7% short float. Yeah, I'm actually not mad at that at all. Well, if you're looking for longer term buys, see, I look, I don't want to FOMO or anyone into a stock ever, but I think it's a company you should be aware of, and I think a company that, yeah, you definitely should be aware of it. And if you're doing longer term portfolio stuff, I think Cloudflare definitely could be one of them. It's really, really a good company. Let's look at the numbers here. IBD's got to have it. All right, 90 rating, ranked 21 in this industry group. Seems a little bit strange. EPS change, not good last quarter, negative 67%. So, I don't know, maybe they're a turnaround play. Not good, not good. Sales is good. Sales can overcome a lot. 50% sales is really good. Pre-tax margin, negative 36. Really? That's surprising to me. Negative 8% change in funds owning stock. B plus is good. 1.6 up down volume is good. So, yeah, maybe a little bit of accumulation going on here, but yeah, a strange one. New stock market leaders will share this common trait. So, IBD not liking it too much, but just knowing what Cloudflare is. The hunt for new leaders. And net is in here. Up down volume is another way to gauge institutional stock buying. That's good. It's available for every stock in the technical performance section of the IBD stock checkup. Yeah, so there's net in your up down volume of 1.5, which is the second highest next to Zoom, which is good. Also composite rating, not bad at 88. That's pretty good. Accumulation distribution is B. Now it's a B plus. Yeah, so not bad. Under some accumulation, all-time highs here. Fundamentals are lagging a little bit, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't think you can. I don't think that's not a. I don't think it's a bad thing going long net. Longer term hold, obviously, with the way the market's structured right now, could take another leg lower. But that is looks like a breakout. We don't quite. There's an IPO base here, and obviously a huge shakeout with the market. But yeah, leading today to all-time highs. I don't know what else is at all-time highs. There's not too many that are even close, but you have net right there. And keep in mind, net IPO'd many months before this pandemic, so they have plenty of time to do what they want with it, and they want it, so they're rallying it. So if you want it, get it. I'm thinking about it, but I usually don't do long-term holds like that. Just knowing myself, I'll sell it off in a shakeout and just lose like 10% or something. Boeing. That's Noah, not Boeing. I was looking for Boeing. DocuSign looks like breaking our little declining trend line here. Yep, there we go. Nice little break. Volumes, not too bad. Pretty good, actually. You see on the 5-minute chart, good amount of volume compared to these earlier days here where we were much more calm. So that's not a bad sign. How's our buddy Tesla doing? All right, Michael. Again, man, just make sure you know why you're in it. Make sure you know what your strategy is. Anytime you take any position, you should know where your exit is on the stopping side, and then have an idea of where you want to take profits and stuff like that. Yeah, Tesla not too bad right here, calming down a little bit. Yeah, market not dropping much at all, only down 0.1%, looking just like a normal market day. But it's funny, I bet those options premiums are still sky high, aren't they? Not fix, VIX. So VIX dropping a little bit here. Let's see what our inverse ETFs are doing. Short term is positive slightly, ever so slightly. So VIX is down 3%. These inverse ETFs not doing a whole heck of a lot. Play's up 10% now. up a little bit. Took out that little small trend line I just drew this morning. That one's not too bad. Royal Caribbean now up 13%. Okay, so that may be an interesting entry point for maybe Royal Caribbean. After 3 pretty brutal down days, coming down a total of 42%. You got a 13% little bounce back. Could be dead cat bounce, but it's so far a higher low, which could be good. Again, in my opinion, cruise lines they probably have a long way to go before they're healthy. But United Airlines yesterday with a somewhat of a bottoming candle, but you can see our volume was pretty low. Ooh, Tesla now up 4%, up to 424, rallying through nicely here. All right, so Planet Fitness up 2%. Looking pretty good, holding nice and tight here. We're not selling off yet. We could start to come back here, guys. Again, we're looking for a follow-through day. Looking also for early leadership and movers in the market. I think that's important to see that. I think Net, we just saw, is already leading, up 8%. Yeah, there we go. A little consolidation this morning. Looks like it may continue rallying further today. A stock that no one really has a big position in yet, and if think about it, if you're any kind of institution looking to have exposure to potentially large companies at $7 billion, I mean that actually seems like a bargain, but their sales definitely support that type of a market cap. Their sales were only $287 million. Yeah, I want to look into this company a little more. Hedge funds soured on Cloudflare at the wrong time. You know, hedge funds have a history of being so bad at what they do. I think the institutions have the hedge funds number. That's why we can do better than those guys can even. Trying to read these headlines real quick, see if there's anything that looks interesting other than just a bunch of fluff garbage. Bored kids are committing cyber attacks to avoid tests. Hold on, Mom, I'm hacking Google. Gosh. My laptop is screaming right now. I really don't see anything about the numbers on Cloudflare. HTTP 3? Is that a thing? Eli, what's HTTP 3? Huh. Alright, well. It is what it is. But the sales growing 50% is pretty good. Is there going to be 300 before long and then 500 before long? Short by HTTPS. That's funny. Haha. It works. Sweet. Yes, Eon's working. That's awesome. Careful what you say. You're live on YouTube. Just kidding. Say anything you want. Anyway. That's fantastic. That is super, super cool. I haven't actually done anything with it yet, but Yeah, that's dope right there. You guys have no idea. This is really cool. Well, Eli knows. But finally, I need to get my front end hooked up with my Vue API. Hey, did you guys know about this? I don't know when this happens, but I have this plus button up here. I can install my application as a desktop. See, watch, I click this. And actually, I already have it, but install. And then boom, it's like an app on my computer. Do other programs do this on the web? I have no idea. Pin to taskbar. And now this is basically just a saved version, which actually doesn't doesn't work when I click it, but there's some other setup I probably have to, on my side I have to do, but it's interesting. But yeah, TradeTriggers.pro, son. It's pretty awesome. There's my Binance API key. Nice and safe from your prying eyes. Trying to take all my Binance money. Cool. Oh, I'm super excited. I'm going to actually be able to start developing this thing now. All right, so really, SOXL is pretty intriguing. There you go. There's net up just a little bit more. I do like that SOXL. That's pretty good. It's pretty fancy, Rob, if I can remember how it works. It's been so damn long. If I can remember how to program. Okay. Market up 0.42%. We're looking pretty good, guys. So far. Again, looking for next shoes to drop and stuff. Tilray's up 15%. Just forget about MJ. Which means it's probably a great time to buy MJ. Look at that volume. Wow, that's some pretty big volume. Seriously, that may... I don't know. I hate... MJ's been such a shit show. That's a technical term, by the way. Oh, AMRN? No, I'm not, actually. No, I could... Holy bejesus. Rob, you just like to see me worked up, don't you? You just want to see me... Like, why are you looking at something down 70%? It's obviously not a good thing. Amarin Pharmaceutical? Man, we were, like, on Amarin, too. At least I think I was. Yeah, I know Eli likes to get me worked up. Start yelling about weird shit. Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, something happened. There's a bunch of news this morning. Stock tumbles after loses lawsuit against generic drug makers. Wow. What the hell's this lawsuit about that it goes down 68%? I think someone just dropped... I think Amarin developed the coronavirus and lost control of it. They just... free coronavirus for everyone. Yeah, no, you don't want to give away your coronavirus. You sell your coronavirus. And a heart drug failed, Michaelo? Did both things happen? Because that would kind of suck. See, you know what? I don't understand. Why don't these guys get halted? They halt all these other things, but they don't halt these things. Why don't they halt these? Like, screw it. I don't care about Amarin. You can go down 68%. I'm not against it. I just think it's interesting. I mean, that is a crap ton of everything on Amarin. So what's your market cap this morning, Amarin? Planet Fitness looking really good right there. Yeah. No kidding, Rob. Amarin, 5 billion market cap. 429 million sales. Oh, so they were super extended anyways in terms of their forward PE right now is 24. That's crazy. Next year EPS 700%. Yeah, something didn't go their way. after losing patent battle for heart drug. Oh, so yeah, apparently it was a generics in favor against Amarin towards generics about a heart drug, I think is what it is. Court invalidates its heart drug patent for Vascepta. Wow. Stay away from that. Yeah. And like this guy says, here she bounces unless you want to play those intradays. Fine if you do, it's up to you, but yeah, I would definitely try to stay away, play in some healthier waters. But that's pretty brutal. That gap up must have been for the heart drug too. I don't know, but that's, I actually remember that. Yeah, that was a massive. Yeah, I think I remember that. That was huge. Must have been the same heart drug, and now they're giving it up. NASDAQ 1% right here. That's pretty good. So, again, looking for a follow-through day. It's super early. It's only 45 minutes in, but you see net leading us higher here. That's pretty good. Net moving on a follow-through day. DocuSign past a buy point on a follow-through day, potentially. Today's a potential follow-through day. So you're seeing some good signs on some good stocks. DocuSign and Net, I would argue, are the two. You're seeing a good sign in 2 stocks out of 3,000. Go all in. EOG. Booking. Yeah. This could be an opportunity. I didn't think about Booking.com, but Booking.com is a massive company. They own pretty much all the travel sites except for Trivago and whatever other things they own. Anyway, down here significantly is a gift on Booking.com. 56% back to highs. That's pretty good. Yeah, market up 1%. So still a little bit volatile, but obviously that's kind of, we're looking for good volatility to get the market healthy. Domino's Pizza down a bunch today. Why are they down a bunch? Analysts lowering price targets. Credit Suisse, Wells Fargo, both coming out today with Domino's. Withdraws annual financial guidelines. That's not a good sign. Okay, so a couple of good signs. Nothing crazy. We looked the other day, if you guys recall, at some previous follow-through days, and plenty of stuff rallies after the follow-through days. So I don't think it's a situation where you've got to, be jumping in here. If you're not super comfortable, you can wait for a little bit if you want to. Come on, I want this. The hell is this? Oh, that's their logo. Oh, that's weird. Okay. So market here 1%. Yeah, that's not bad. So far we're doing okay. I'm not too mad. Tesla up 6.5. So that's not doing too bad down here either. Almost 1.2%. See if we stall out at some point or how this goes about. 1.25. What's our I need to get volume. Okay, so how's our volume today? On the Qs, we're pretty low volume on the Qs. I know it's hard to call a follow-through day on the Qs, but I don't really have good NASDAQ volume. Okay, so here's our high from overnight. Let's see if we go through that or not. Could argue that if we go through that, then we're likely headed for a follow-through day. .22% for the market. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. So the Soxol's doing. This Soxol looks scrumdiddlyumptious. Going up maybe 200%. That's pretty good. I'll put this on the actionable list. Yeah, so I got my motherboard and my computer chip yesterday. Ooh, 1.3 right now. Yummy. Oh, back down to 1.5 pretty quick. INMD, I don't know, man. That'd be about 140, 130%. I forget what this does. Integra Med. I forget exactly what that does. Hey guys, hold on a minute. I'm going to add to my TQ position right now for early on in a follow-through day. And I'm only on one screen, so I got to pause the stream so I can buy my position. Hold on a minute. Actually, you know what I can probably do is just hide my display capture, and I can still talk to you guys. So let's try that for a little bit. INMD, I think I need to know a little bit more about it, to be honest with you. I mean, when you're in a situation like this, I think you pick your positions wisely. I think TQ is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I think the TQQQ is pretty good. In terms of individual names, like Net is breaking out. Play's actually not doing that great. .43%. Yeah. I don't know. I'm going to add some here, but that's getting up there pretty quick. I got to buy for my kids' account too. Oops, that was the wrong one. I think my kids are doing better than I am. Actually, I'm outperforming my kids a little bit. All right, how much cash do my kids got? There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's going to lower my gain. That's okay. I guess I could get a little more Tesla too. Tesla's not a bad spot. Market 1.3. So about a little bit early in the day. than I like to buy, but I guess a little bit of FOMO on my part. All right, let's bring the display capture back. Haha. Did that work? I think that worked. All right, Square, Domino's Pizza down, Restoration Hardware down. Why is Restoration Hardware down? I know they're very retail store based, but I mean they were a pretty big leader. I'm not sure why they're staying down so much, probably because of store closures. This one could be, if you're looking at longer term stuff, that one could be, it's about 120% to highs if it ever gets back there. I mean, it'll get back there in time. There you go, 1.45 for the NASDAQ. Yeah, back to INMD, Rob. I don't know, man. I don't know. Some of these names are, again, remember I mentioned yesterday, some of the names just they just won't come back, or they'll be very laggy. So in other words, like if they were trying to get rid of INMD anyways, and you know, because see, we have a lower high here. Remember, we played this on the bounce up, and we never got a continuation. If they were going to get rid of it anyways, it's just going to flounder about 30, maybe 35 or something for a while. It may not crater into the dirt, but it's probably not going to start rallying tremendously. I'd much rather be in something that's a lot more certain than just a name like INMD. It's good to kind of keep the history of your stocks in mind, but at the same time, there's a recency bias that I think you have to really stay away from. So I noticed that in a lot of newer traders, they tend to look at the same names over and over for whatever reason. Yeah, Visa, yeah, obviously, it's boring, right? INMD it's a sexy story. You know, you've been following it, trading it for it to come back and make a bunch of money, but I mean, Visa's only 28% to highs, which is not a sexy story like INMD, but probably likely to give you much better results. You know, and our job here is to make money, not to have the sexiest results. You know, 162 is pretty sexy, but I don't think it's, I'm not sure how likely it is. Now, again, I think more research on the company, you know, could be due. INMD. Medical appliances and equipment. Yeah, you think they'd be doing something. Not a lot of news on this one either, going back to December in the same page. Hot. Okay. INMD. All right, NASDAQ pulling back now, 1.16. Yeah. DocuSign 9%. Oh, do I not have net up here? I thought I put. Yeah, I didn't put net up here. There it is. There's net. So net, yeah, net's stalling a little bit right there too. Let's look at the Qs. All right, so good volume on the way up. That's a little bit of a distribution candle right there. We did loosely eclipse the highs, but we're definitely pulling back. I may have just got bull trapped. It's okay, that's why you level in. Morning, Aram. See, fall flat of that 1% benchmark today. Logospace.com. iRobot, you were down already, and you didn't go much lower, but definitely not healthy. Let's look at our long-term turnarounds, if you guys remember those. Actually Docu, wow, held super good. I'm looking at the weekly charts right now. You can see those big long red trend lines for those of you newer to the channel. I haven't been here since really prior to the coronavirus thing. We're looking at long-term turnaround plays substantially. AMN firmly underneath. Booking.com not coming back, but way, way cheap. Skyworks coming in, but kind of bouncing off our initial long-term turnaround play, which worked out fantastically, even though I wasn't involved in it. PNFP, another one that's beaten down. Pinnacle Financial Partners. Netflix coming back and retesting its trend line. That one's pretty good. Fortinet, another one that did pretty good. Looks like gave it all up, and then now back above the trend line already, which is pretty good. Alibaba, not in a bad spot. Didn't really sell off tremendously, but coming back pretty good. Okta had its own shakeout there, and then right back at it. Not too bad. ABC, actually ABC not bad. Played with a trend line. Didn't make a new low on the weekly at least. Plenty of lows underneath what we just had, and we're right back at it. So that one's potentially good. OKTA, there's a shakeout and bounce right back. ABC. Amazon, this one right at its long-term turnaround trend line right there, / cup and handle, whatever you want to call it. But Amazon looks really good. Goose, not even coming close. Biogen, it's been holding up during coronavirus, but it's generally been underperforming. Not happy with it. Align, Take-Two Interactive hasn't gone very far in either direction. Square, firmly undercutting and arguably making a new trend line. Maybe giving you a channel or something, but it's hard to. 1.42 for the NASDAQ coming back. A huge channel right now, I guess, and you're almost in the middle of it. So that's interesting for Square. Court, 5, EVR, way lower. Domino's Pizza coming back okay. And then Restoration Hardware, which wasn't a long-term turnaround, gave up a bunch. I think there's maybe some hidden value here. Restoration Hardware was doing very good in the last half of last year and was basing into the first part of this year. You can see right here a very nice base. Started to break out and then market just fell apart. So there may be some hidden value here unless they're much more deeply hurt by something. I also think people aren't going back into retailers yet, so this could be a beaten down gem. Restoration Hardware down at $100. Looks like it's finding some support at 109 currently. We did spike down to 73. So I think Restoration Hardware probably could be a hidden gem. To be almost 1.6 for the NASDAQ. Oh, maybe I didn't get bull trapped. Good. This one could be a little hidden gem, actually. That one's not too bad. 127% to prior highs. Even up to that prior bottom breakdown point, you're looking at 88%, which is not too bad. And these guys were on a tear, and you can argue those ritzy Scottsdale moms still want to buy the Restoration Hardware table. They just have to wait a couple of months. So I think there'll be some pent-up shopping demand, at least in Scottsdale. I'm not sure about the rest of the country, but in Scottsdale, there'll definitely be pent-up shopping demand, if it ever even went away. It is Scottsdale, after all. It is Scottsdale. Dude, honestly, I am, Eli. I'm in my house going, yeah, I need to do the next leg of my remodel. We built a flower bed yesterday, or not a flower bed. Wife wanted to build a garden yesterday, so we built another garden in the backyard yesterday. She won't quit. She's like, my feet hurt. I'm like, no shit, you won't stop moving. Treehouse, garden, thinking about, flattening the rest of my walls and repainting, thinking about more doors. I mean, nonstop, man. Dude, Home Depot, in all honesty, it's bounced up a bunch. Now, remember, I talked about Home Depot when I went there about a week or so ago and how beaten down it was at 150. I remember that. It was at 150, and now it's at 200. So a lot of the value's already gone out of Home Depot. We were down here, and I mentioned that Home Depot was packed. Absolutely packed. So I don't think retail is going to be as damaged, especially ones like Home Depot's not closing. My Home Depot's every day is freaking busy as hell. Every single day, super busy Home Depot. So they're probably going to do pretty good on earnings whenever their next earning. But they just had earnings. It's going to be a while. But I don't see them being hurt by this whatsoever. I see them actually benefiting. Just my personal opinion, but just what I see in my one Home Depot, it's a half mile from my house. But that thing is, I've been there not every day, but about every 3 days. And I haven't gone in there a couple times. I think I told you the story yesterday because there's too many people in there. And I just didn't want to go, and I just didn't want to. They have a line set up. It can only allow like so many people in. So I didn't want to get involved with that. So I've actually not gone in a couple of times when I've gone there, but yeah, I think they're going to do fine. And they've already, look at these huge volumes down here. That's a lot of positions changing hands right there. Some people reducing risk, some people taking on that risk, and they're up 23% right now a couple weeks later because of it. So I think Restoration Hardware, Home Depot. Let's look at some options on RH. What is this thing getting back to? Let's just call it maybe 210. Let's see what that looks like. All right, let's go check ours here. So Planet Fitness looks like selling off a little bit. Plays up 13%. Oh, okay, cool. Our inverse ETFs are slightly up. That's not a bad thing. And yeah, Tesla up 6%. Right, Justin? Go Tesla. Tesla looking pretty good down here. Not too shabby. But we got to see another leg in the market to get... Yeah, I thought I was up more. I'm not up that much in my TQs. Not like I thought I was. Royal Caribbean 14%. Dropbox. So yeah, we're doing okay. Okay, so we're looking at Restoration Hardware back to, what did we say? 210. I'm sure volatility is still through the roof. So let's take it out to the end of the year there. Oh, that one's not too bad, 227%. What else do we have? That's about it, 230 if you go out of the money here. Buy some 135s. Maybe 125s. Where's a good break-even point on this? Maybe 150. Yeah, right there, 227 for 150. That's not too bad. We've definitely seen worse than that. What's the spot price going to 210 though? Yeah, see, still 80%. That's still not quite a triple. Still good though. I mean, look, if you want something pretty secure, you can go all the way down here inside and still get 127%. You're going to outperform by about 50% to the general market, but that's getting to 210. The question is, what if it doesn't bounce back there? And there's not a lot of technical area for it to pause up here. Maybe here at 175. And then you're up 80% with the 40s. And then you can go up in here into the 100s. And that's a 200% gainer. Or if it doesn't bounce very much at all, and like I said, we get to 175, then that's your max gainer. So that one's not too bad. That 100, it's like $3,600 per call. That's not bad. So some potential there for Restoration Hardware. You can watch that one. Oh, these can all go away. Roku. Let's look at some Roku. And then I'm going to bounce here, guys. Market up 1.6%, getting with it today. There's Roku. I'm assuming the market sold them off because they're going to have some supply issues. They were also being distributed up here anyway. See all these massive distribution candles? So probably not a super fan of Roku, but it is definitely a position you could take. And yeah, it's down pretty far. But again, maybe respecting this trend line, it gets up to 130 or something. So good moves today. Yeah, I like Tesla up 6. Ooh, nice little bull flag. Look at this volume on Tesla. That's pretty good. Our volume's been diminishing here significantly so we moved up and now we've been channeling out. So this could be an elevated volume day. Yesterday we were at 12. Today we're already at 6 and we're about an hour and a half in. Yeah, I would agree with you, Eli. I would hope we don't rally too far too fast. But if today's a follow-through day, guys, then everything's out the window. Then it could be back on. I mean, things are looking good here. DocuSign breaking out. This is a traditional breakout right here. We talked about this yesterday, actually, at the 91, whatever this was. We didn't harp on it, but we definitely mentioned it. That's your buy point right there, and we're firmly above that at this stage of the game. So 7% actually past the entry area. Net does not have a traditional buy point. Its traditional buy point was actually lower, but having a really good day today, up near the $26 level, consolidating. Look at the volume. Pretty good volume. Able to hold up is good, meaning they're eating whatever distribution is coming in. Space not doing too bad. As you saw, I bought some TQQQ earlier. 1.62% now, so it's pretty good. We definitely have makings of a follow-through day in terms of percentage. Now we just have to wait and see if we're going to get the volume. Rob, you can't lose internet with the real stock show. You got to have a backup internet. That's a prerequisite. Eli's got 4 internet streams so he doesn't lose the show. Come on, man. Stocks trend higher. Global virus cases top 800,000. We're all going to die. But we're going to get a follow-through day. Welcome to the stock market, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the stock market. Yeah, so this volume obviously is not reflective of, yeah. So that's not going to be a help. Up 10% versus the prior day. There you go. I think that's, up 42% versus the 50-day moving average. So, yeah, this is what I was looking for. Exactly, Eli. Three laptops, 5 internets, and 2 headphones. Don't forget about your, don't you have a couple of iPads too? You can't risk your internet going down. So there you go. Yeah, there's your volume up 45% versus the 50-day moving average. And 10% versus the prior day. I believe this is done actually in not quite real time, but they have certain times during the day that they reference volume, and I think that's what these. So I think so far we're actually outpacing volume by about 10% to yesterday. So far we're looking okay for a follow-through day. And if this is the follow-through day, you should let me videotape that. Make a good promo. I'll videotape that. If this is a follow-through day, you should be buying something that's actually human rights violation. That's actually that is an IBD rule. Is you have to buy something on the follow-through day. You have to buy something on a follow-through day. So if this is a follow-through day, and again it's early, you gotta buy. So you can layer in, right? You can layer in, but you should be buying something at a minimum if this is a follow-through day. So we'll see how it goes, though. You can buy it at the end of the day just to wait to make sure, but DocuSign doesn't appear to be a bad one. Man, DocuSign at our prior buy point up there, up 83%. It's pretty dope. All right, guys, I think I'm going to bounce. I think I'm going to get out of here. Restoration Hardware down 10%. I don't know. I can't rectify that. There must be something going on here. I know I said I'm bouncing, and I'm already not bouncing. What are they doing? They're not coming back well at all. Market cap of $2 billion, sales of $2.65 billion. Holy crap, that is super cheap. You kind of upset that I never buy Nvidia? I bought their graphics card. Yeah, Nvidia looks pretty good. You know, that's a recurring. I look at a lot of things and I don't buy most of them. You know, I never buy most of them. I don't know. Well, usually I buy my long-term options plays, Eli. You know, that's kind of one of my bread and butters. And Nvidia, I mean, I guess I could have bought right here. That would have been my one opportunity probably to buy, and I obviously didn't. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Amazon never really piqued my interest either. So, I'm definitely not perfect. I will say that. Aram, you bought Royal Caribbean? Ooh, dipping your toe in that water. That's ballsy. Just make sure you hold on for the long haul. Because, again, talk about another one not bouncing is Royal Caribbean. But, I mean, look, yeah, that's a good, 400%. 300%, 400%, whatever it is, back to highs. But it may take you years. That may be years in the making, in all honesty. But more power to you, brother. I mean, dude, 300% in 4 years is dope. That's really good. I'm not too mad at that. Man, look at how beat up this is. This is so bad. 33 going here's the price all the way back to base in 2012. That's a deep discount though. I'm not too mad at that, Aram. Hopefully it wasn't a massive part of your portfolio, but yeah, I'm not super mad. I can respect the move, but I think it's going to be down here a while. Good though, man. Yeah, like I said, I'm not mad. That's pretty good. But yeah, Restoration Hardware. I am slightly intrigued by this. I know sales are going to get hit, but not by that much. That's another one. I mean, just easy math. 108 up to 260 or 250. That's 150% right there. You're basically buying sales. You're like your price to sales 0.82. Forward PE is 15 or 9. Current PE is 15. ROE. ROE is horrible. Institutional gross margin 40%, 12% operating margin. That's pretty good for a retailer. That's really good for a retailer. AYTU. I don't know if I saw that question, Aram. AYTU. Oh, you mentioned this the other day, didn't you? I don't know. I don't know if I have to keep it or not. I don't like stuff like this, buddy. I just don't. I think this was one of those clinical trials for the whole coronavirus thing. I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but so you see right here where it says AYTU Bioscience regains compliance with NASDAQ minimum bid requirement price. So, it's just if this gets delisted overnight, this thing's gonna drop significantly. I don't know. It's not one I'm. All I'm gonna say is manage your risk on this. I mean, this is a gamble. This is a gamble, Aram. I mean, so this is a good lesson. Are you here to gamble or are you here to actually make solid trades or solid investments? I don't mind. Like, actually, I like that RCL buy. That's pretty ballsy. I think it'll come back. It's going to take some time. That could be considered an investment. This is a gamble. This one's a gamble. I don't think Royal Caribbean's going to. If it goes bankrupt because the government doesn't lend them money, that's one thing. In that regard, it could be considered a gamble. But I think, let's see if our cruise lines getting bailouts. I'm not sure if they are or are not. They aren't getting a bailout. Ooh, that's why they're not bouncing. Ooh, so that may be more of a gamble than I thought. Most cruise lines don't pay taxes in the U.S. Just one reason. One of the reasons they aren't getting a bailout. Good. They shouldn't get a freaking bailout. In all honesty, screw them. You want to take your business outside of the U.S., you don't get U.S. benefits. So F you. So that may be a little bit more gamble. So you're going to have to keep an eye on this one. Royal Caribbean is incorporated in Liberia. So yeah, this is which is why it's so low. If you notice, all the other things like United Airlines, which is getting a bailout, is up significantly off the lows. We're talking 80% versus Royal Caribbean. Not so much. Only up. Oh, I guess it's still up 80%. Okay, I can kind of eat those words a little bit right there. But anyway, I think you get the picture. So Royal Caribbean is a little bit more dangerous than I thought. But yeah, so with this other one, this AYTU, I think you got to know a little bit about these, or a little more than a little bit if you're going to know about these. And I think you've got to... What the hell? Who's looking at AYTU this closely? These are bots. There's no way these aren't bots. It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty, this is a gamble, Aram. I mean, I would likely bail on this. This is not, at least if it were me and I happen to get in and I'm not up or down too bad, I would just bail on it. Royal Caribbean, I would make a very small position size if you wanted to have it, due to the fact that it does not have U.S. money bailout. But it could have a great up day. I mean, there's lots of possibilities in the market, but it's just hard to. Yeah, if you want to stick with U.S. companies, I think that's probably better. Apparently, that is not a U.S. company. Ion says hello. New in the market. Okay, well, it's a good idea to stick with, very high quality companies. Tesla's doing super good, up 6% today. So they're kind of in a risk on environment. Look at the volume today too. We're about half of yesterday's volume, only 2 hours into the trade, hour and a half into the trading day. That's pretty good. So Tesla's probably going to have a nice up day. Hopefully we can get a follow through day in the Qs. So far it doesn't look that good in terms of the volume on the QQQs. For a follow through day. TQQQ, a little bit better volume. So yeah. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna bounce. I'm gonna get out of here. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe out there. Let's hope for a follow through day today. I think that'd be pretty awesome. Maybe I just have recency bias because I just bought some TQQQ. But yeah, have a good day, guys. I will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.